believes that this team is a bit ahead of schedule because of how the young players are progressing. The likes of Hines, Dirksen, as well as some of the other players that have put on the jersey this year for Sporting Kansas City too. So when it comes to their development, really believes in what they've seen, but in regards to what they have played and done on the field, says that the results are going to come. They just have to make sure they're not making mental mistakes. And so this is going to be a team that they cannot make mistakes against because they play in transition. They play fast and furious. There's the opening whistle, and we begin Real Monarchs and Sporting Kansas City 2 in the Western Conference. We're at Zions Bank Stadium, a place where Real Monarchs have been very good this year. Just one loss here in this building. They have 2 home losses overall, but their only loss here at Zions Bank Stadium is to the number 1 team in the Western Conference. That was Houston, 1-0. And so they have a result in 5 of 6 matches at Zions Bank Stadium. And you see all the advertisements around the stadium. MLS Next Cup being hosted here, this beautiful venue. And so the next generation also getting a chance to take in this event, take in this match. We see it sometimes at the GA Cup when a match is played at IMG, and it's just a real opportunity. Some of these players were recently playing in MLS Next. Even some of the likes of some of these 17-year-olds, Van Parker, Chance Cowell, and Gio Villa. And also for Sporting Kansas City, the likes of Jack Franca, Kashawn Hines, Carter Dirksen. These are young players that have come up through the academy, and this is what this is all about. So an early throw-in coming for Real Monarchs, unbeaten in their last 3, including back-to-back wins. 2-0 versus Colorado, 3-1 versus Vancouver. Amparo can't scurry forward. Throw-in coming now for Sporting Kansas City. Russo puts it into play. Ball finds him. Kind of squeezed on that sideline. And Real Monarchs will take over in possession all the way back to Trace Alfin, goalkeeper, 23 years of age for Real Monarchs. This lineup is littered with young talent, but also has some grown-ups for this space. And it's a good mix for Real Monarchs because it allows the younger players to go forward, attack, play freely, but then also they have some coverage with the likes of Ruben Massalas as well as Dylan Kropp. And now attacking is Real Monarchs. Rodriguez now slip forward. Cal dumps this in, and no shot just yet. And then a clearance for Kansas City. One thing that Coach Mark Lowry said to me this week is that he wants his team to be goal dangerous. Now, what does that mean? It means that anytime there's an opportunity to score, he wants his team to take full advantage of it. They want to score on every single attack. And he knows that that is not plausible, but he wants his team to have that mentality. Every single time they get into the attacking third, he wants them to be going for goal. This is a poor giveaway here. Sporting Kansas City trying to take advantage of the giveaway. The shot from distance from Blaine Mabey was closed down at the top of the 18. Donovan putting some pressure on defensively, but again, a very comfortable center back trio for Real Monarchs are not going to take heed to the duress being put on by Kansas City. Now Amparo, 19 years of age. finishing the point on being goal dangerous for Real Monarchs. They really like what they have in the attack, and anytime they have an opportunity to go forward, they want everyone to press up, want the defenders to defend, and want the attacking players to put pressure on the opponent. An opportunity here early on in the area. Good defending. And it'll be a goal kick. So Pierre Leroux staying step for step with Gio Villa, and ended up seeing Villa send it out for the goal kick. So 5 minutes in. It's been all Real Monarchs. As you can see, some of the puddles and the water popping up. There was some rain prior to the match, so the surface will be slick. And that will be in favor of Real Monarchs, who want to play quickly, want to play in transition. A lot of their goals in the last meeting between themselves and Sporting Kansas City came in transition. Coach Lee Tashantrit of SKC saying that we can't give them those opportunities. Big time tackle there. And that'll be an early yellow card going on Jack Franca. So the 16-year-old, a little too antsy early on, as he took down Chance Cal, younger brother of U.S. international
Yellow
Kane
card
Cal.
caution. Sporting KC number 87, Jack Franca.
Coach Tashantrit has talked highly about Franca. A lot of the other players within this lineup about their growth. So sometimes they're going to make mistakes, play aggressive, sometimes too aggressive. But every coach will say they'd rather reel a player in than have to turn a player up. Chested down and controlled by Rodriguez. Now this shot, just wide of the mark. It was Felix Ewald looking for his second goal of the season. And it just skipped wide of the goal mouth. Sporting Kansas City losses in 3 of their last 4 matches. Their only win, as mentioned, was W over Colorado Rapids 2, who are still looking for their first win of the season. That 3-1 victory for SKC, their second of the year. And that came on the road. They do have 3 results in 5 matches away through Sporting Kansas City. And they're sitting on 10 points right now. And for Coach Tashantrit, this SKC2 organization, they are really glass half full as they force a turnover here. And if they can start to put some performances together, then they could start to climb the standings after what was a really tumultuous year last year. Took them a very long time to earn their first win. The team never lost its spirit, though. Lee Tashantrit's son, Cello Tashantrit, was a captain last year. Spoke with him multiple times throughout the season, and he always had the right mentality. And his mentality earned him a first-team contract. So now in the 9th minute, Kansas City has a free kick, a chance to put the ball in the area, put some pressure on Real Monarchs. Ball is lifted in. Doesn't find a blue shirt. But a chance to recycle possession for SKC. Dumped forward, good ball to Leroux. Slipped in at the end line, now drawn across. It drops kindly. And the shot was wide. It looked like it took a deflection off a Real Monarch player. And that's what Kansas City was arguing. But that does not seem to be the case. So it was Carter Dirksen who had the shot. Kansas City again almost forces a turnover. They are putting a lot of pressure on the Monarchs, and they've come out inspired inside of these first 10 minutes. They lost 5-0 the last time these two teams met on their home field. They were thumped, outplayed, and it was Real Monarchs who were the aggressors, who put them under pressure, forced them to make mistakes, and then turned them into goals. Here's a bad miscue. Kashawn Hines slips this in, and the shot is right at Alfred. So it was Donovan who put it on frame. Shot on goal for Kansas City. 2 shots now for SKC. And just the one for Real Monarchs. So this has a good tempo to it. Whitaker Rodriguez dumps this forward. Cal has lots of speed. A little tap in. Now the shot saved. Huge save from Jack Courtcamp. Cal ushered this along. It went through the legs of Van Parker. And then the shot was blocked away by Jack Courtcamp. Real Monarchs with a long throw. Bouncing down, hit, and it was blocked away. Ball doesn't squirt free. Now the shot. It was Liam O'Gara. Struck it cleanly, but just sprayed it wide. So we've had lots of shots early on. It's been an exciting first 12 minutes of this match. Both goalkeepers have had to be on their toes. And this match is going to be wide open. Kansas City was always going to go for it on the road, looking to match their win total from last season. And really trying to have a better showing than the last time these two teams met. They've showed it early on. But as we know, Real Monarchs wants to put the ball in the back of the net in high sequence. And this is Cal, always the speedster. Massalis, he's joining on the attack. Cal now wide to Ewald. Drives this in. Doesn't find a teammate. Misael Rodriguez dispossessed by Massalis. Rodriguez shoved down from behind. Ball is still free for Real Monarchs. On the attack as the home side. Parker outside the area. No cross just yet. Now the ball lifted in, drops down, shot wide. So after a flurry from Kansas City, it is Real Monarchs who's starting to put the pressure on SKC. And the goal kick coming for Jack Courtcamp. He's going to take his time. Kansas City does want to speed the game up when they're in their defensive half and trying to win the ball back early, but they do not want this game to be played up and down because that will benefit the pace, the transition play of Real Monarchs. Parker coming to hold up, can't win possession. Now it's Kansas City. LaRoe back to Courtcamp. attacking opportunity is quickly scuffed out by Dylan Kropp. A little clattering together, and a free kick coming for Real Monarchs. This portion of the match is brought to you by Zions Bank, the official bank of Real Monarchs. We played a quarter of an hour, no score between Real Monarchs and Sporting Kansas City, but no shortage of action between these two squads. Coach Mark Lowry saying of his Real Monarchs side that he wants to get on a run. They are unbeaten in 3 wins in their last 2. Not only want to have a winning streak, but want to just stack some positive results so they can work their way up the table. They finished 4th last season, made it to the playoffs for their first time in MLS Next Pro. They were stunned by Minnesota 2-1. Minnesota did a lot of stunning things in the playoffs last year as they also went on the road, took down St. Louis, and went up on Colorado before the Rapids came from behind and won the Western Conference. I asked Coach Lowry what he believes the ceiling for this team could be, and he said the jury is still out. There's a lot of talent. Chance Cowell, good ball through. Now Amparo all the way across. Had runners coming in, but his ball was a little out in front of them. But for Coach Lowry, when you think of who's on this team this year, you have Owen Anderson, who's on the bench tonight. You have Izzy Amparo. And you have guys that can really put the ball in the back of the net. You think of Lineker Rodriguez, who's in the 11 tonight. 4 goals on the year, 24 years of age, but he made his first team debut recently. And so as they integrate the young players into the 11, get some continuity, does feel like he'll really be able to know what the ceiling could be maybe 4 or 5 matches from now. Wonderful back here to Rodriguez. Left, Parker. Now this shot saved. Real Monarchs still with an opportunity. Parker, was this a handball? Yes, it was. Penalty for Real Monarchs. Parker did an excellent job of boxing out. He took his shot, and then it hit the hand of an SKC player. You'll see here, initial save, well done by Courtcamp, but did not give up on the play was Ewald. Parker there, and boom, the hands of Carter Dirksen was away from the body, stopped the shot, and now the Monarchs an opportunity to take the lead from the spot. This is Lineker Rodriguez, leading goal scorer for Real Monarchs. The yellow card was shown to Dirksen. So Rodriguez, as mentioned, recently making his first team debut. Big moment for him. Has been consistent with the second team this year. He leads them in goals. No other man you'd want in this position, with the opportunity to give your team the lead. Rodriguez is stopped. Jack Courtcamp, humongous save. The 18-year-old comes up clutch in this first half. Saw it the entire way. A savable height for Rodriguez on the penalty. And Courtcamp cleanly pushed it away, and we stayed 0-0.
Yellow card caution to the Kansas City bench.
So Real Monarchs with an opportunity from this corner. Ball's zipped into the area, bouncing around, flick back. Rodriguez takes a whack at it, and now it's dumped forward. Alfin will come out to corral, and Real Monarchs will keep possession. And there's a foul. As Jack Franca was contacted with. So LaRoe quickly switches the point of attack. Possession lost. And it will be SKC who will have it. Well, that's a big stop from Jack Kortkamp. SKC as a team this year has struggled in the goal concession department. They've conceded the most in the league. Ball out wide. SKC dumps this ball in. Nobody home at the back post. .22 minute of action. No score between Sporting Kansas City and Real Monarchs. Chested down and controlled by Cal. Played last year with the Town, now San Jose Earthquakes 2. It's Cal who can't keep it in. Franca with the throw in. One of the members of the Center of Excellence, Hines. This is Donovan. Shane Donovan slips it out wide. 4 in the area for SKC, but the ball will recycle out to Franca. Messiah Rodriguez was the intended target, but it was left a little too long for him from Franca. Wonderful ball through from O'Gara. Now Cal tries to zip it to his teammate. Now it drops. Parker loses his footing, and it's just puddles everywhere, slipping and sliding like a water park for Real Monarchs. Haven't been able to get clean footing. Masales into the area. Crop. And there's a foul on Kansas City. So as Izzy Amparo was trying to dig it out, he was fouled. .25th minute. Free kick for Real Monarchs. Ball's floated in. And the header grazes forward. Doesn't challenge the goalkeeper. And the foul is going to go on Misael Rodriguez. He can't believe it. This portion of the match is brought to you by Intermountain Health, the power of we. Another ball directly over the top. Goalkeeper is off his line, but he has help at the goal mouth. Kortkamp was rounded by Van Parker, but he had a teammate there defending for him. And with Leroux there, no goal given up. So more direct play from Real Monarchs. Target was Ewald. Kept in play. And now Kansas City trying to take it the other way. Dirksen behind Rodriguez. But Misael Rodriguez makes something out of nothing as he comes more central. Rodriguez sets up to shoot. His shot is blocked. Now Kashawn Hines out wide. Hines can't find a teammate in the area. And up and down we go. Franca under some duress from Lineker Rodriguez. Now Dirksen. Big ball over the top. Nodded forward. Hines trying to get around, but it's left by Gio Calderon for the goalkeeper. Calderon does a good job of boxing out Hines and making sure he cannot get around him. Hines is pesky. He can produce problems for the defense coming into this match with 3 goals on the year. This is kept in by Kansas City. And once again, the attack is on. This could be promising. Dropped off. Rodriguez does not strike it clean. And again, mention the elements. A slick pitch. No true, really good footing. And it's affecting both teams. Ewald does well to keep possession, stay on his feet. Leroux did not want to give up a foul. And Real Monarchs have it as we near the 30th minute of action. Still no score. We've had a saved penalty. Rodriguez tries to switch the point of attack, a little drawback, and Kortkamp clears it away. It was Carter Dirksen who committed the foul, a handball really in the box. Now, necessary slide tackle there. As Real Monarchs are getting close. Turnover forced. Masales. Cal. Rodriguez. And a little shove from behind by Ruben Masales. And again, that's just smart play from Misael Rodriguez. He's done this a long time, the 23-year-old, homegrown for the Chicago Fire. Now with Sporting Kansas City. And With everything that's transpired, with the struggles for the team, Coach Lita Shantrid has said that Rodriguez has been a very good leader for this team, doing all the things that a professional should, his prehab, how he comes to practice, and he's been a good example for the young players of what it looks like to be a professional. So a free kick given for Kansas City. Just past midway on the pitch. Donovan. Flag will come up. Rodriguez felt like he was offside, made the run anyway. And the offside comes to fruition. 15 minutes remain in this first half. Sporting Kansas City looking for their third win of the year, would match their win total from last season in its entirety in just 3 months of action this year. For Real Monarchs, they have aspirations to play past where they finished last season after falling out of the first round of the playoffs. They have the talent to do it. And think about the talent on the pitch now for Real Monarchs. Some of the talent that is playing for the first team. As Cal once again turns on the afterburners, finds himself in the area, draws it back. And now Rodriguez. Maybe along. And now Kansas City in flux once again. Dirksen behind, receives it back, slips it forward. Haas, a nice move here. This shot takes a deflection. Hines has the goal. SKC comes on the road and takes the lead over Real Monarchs. It's Kashawn Hines, the difference maker, his fourth of the season. Slick move here from Ty Haas.
Sporting KC goal, number 77, Kashawn Hines.
SKC leading 1-0 on top. Real Monarchs.
They sure made the 34 seconds or 34 minutes go by quick.
This is Hines. He loses possession. The Real Monarchs will go all the way back to the goalkeeper. Then Alfin. "36 minute of action. Sporting Kansas City is behind. Sporting Kansas City is in front of Real Monarchs. Kashawn Hines with the goal. Massalas switching the point of attack, headed into the area, and it's taken down by Kansas City. They played well in transition today, giving Real Monarchs a bit of their own medicine. A little foul from behind, and it'll be SKC with the free kick. This portion of today's match is presented by America First, the official credit union of Real Salt Lake. America First has game-changing solutions for every financial need. To join the winning team today at americafirst.com. Another opportunity loading for Kansas City, but the turf monster pops up and grabs Misael Rodriguez. There was nobody in front of him. The only thing that could stop him was himself or that turf monster, which grabbed his leg. Big ball, knotted down. Parker will control, and Van Parker still with it. Parker towards Cal on a platter. Cal has his shot blocked away. Still with Real Monarchs. Massalas dumps it over the top. Beautiful ball, but it hits the top of the netting. The header does not nestle into the goal. A wondrous ball. And unable to find the back of the net was Van Parker. Rodriguez, he'll be trying to make amends for his missed penalty. There's a big shove near midfield. Play will continue as Shane Donovan put his paws on Rodriguez. Now Real Monarchs controlled, drawn back, and that'll be a corner. As this ball is dumped in, headed away by Dirksen. The shot from Dylan Kropp was blocked away. contact just past midfield, and another opportunity coming for Real Monarchs. A team that has not been the aggressor today, as they hope to do here at home. It's been Kansas City that has played with more fire, and there's a reason why they are in front. Ty Haas with a smooth little move inside the area, and when you take shots, you just force anything to happen, and the ball fluttering in the air. Kashawn Hines made no mistake in front of goal with his header. And that is how Kansas City has taken the lead. Still a long way to go. A lot of quality on the pitch for Real Monarchs. That big body taking care of it there in Ewald. Now the ball comes out wide as numbers are arriving for Real Monarchs, as you would expect. Cross comes in. Cleared away by LaRoe. Long throw for Real Monarchs. It's knotted away by Donovan. Hines trying to get there first. He does not. So it'll stay with Real Monarchs. Underlapping run. Parker. And this is just cleared behind. So another corner coming for Real Monarchs as we wind down half number one. And some extracurriculars happening behind the play. And the man is down. It's Dylan Kropp, the 22-year-old for Real Monarchs. So Kropp now sitting up. Looks like they're working on the upper body of Dylan Kropp. So we're in the 44th minute. Real Monarchs had an opportunity from the spot after a handball inside the area by Carter Dirksen. Lineker Rodriguez, who leads the team in goals, still buzzing after his first team debut, not able to convert from the spot, as Jack Corkamp made a humongous save diving to his right. And moments later, it was Kashawn Hines who scored for SKC to give them the lead. And that's where we stand, as Kropp able to walk off the pitch under his own power. And now it's time for the corner for Real Monarchs. The ball into the area, a dangerous ball, as it'll take a bounce inside the six. Kortkamp was able to scoop it up. Long throw. We're in the 45th minute. The early word is 4 minutes of added time. The injury time being picked up just recently because of Dylan Kropp going down. Kansas City will have to hold on for that 4 minutes to get to the break with the lead. This has been much different than the last time these two teams met. It was 5-0 the final score. Real Monarchs trouncing Sporting Kansas City. But Mark Lowry, the head coach for Real Monarchs, said this is going to be a much different game SKC has been in. much better form recently, despite their last 2 matches, giving up a total of 8 goals in 2 matches. But Coach Lee Tashantrit of SKC said this team is starting to figure it out. And the development of the young players is starting to come to fruition. As you see, 2 teenagers, big part of the lone goal in the match for either side. Rodriguez will carry himself. Cal returns to Rodriguez. Now Massalis. Cut out by Franca. Throw in for Massalis. Ruben Massalis sends it central. O'Gara now around. Injury coming. Parker was the target, and it will roll on the left side of the corner flag for another Real Monarchs corner. Played short. Loading up, shooting, and save is there for Courtcamp. And Courtcamp comes out of the area. He felt like he was shoved. And this is going to be a huge moment now. Still had the ball in his hands as he came outside the 18. And let's take a look at it here. Nobody's around him. And he's outside the 18 with the ball. So a free kick coming for Real Monarchs. And a chance for the home side to draw level before the intermission. So it's Amparo and Rodriguez. Amparo, the right-footed option. Rodriguez, the left-footed option. 6 in the wall for SKC. Rodriguez just dumps it over the top, and Courtcamp makes the save. A little fluttering ball. Courtcamp saw it the entire way. And so we played our minimum of 4. Corner is given, able to be taken. Knotted down, headed high.
That concludes the first half. With the score,
So we'll
Real Monarchs
go to half.
Sporting KC 2-1.
Excellent first half for both sides. Coming up on our halftime show, we go back to the Northeast for another player pathway success story plus highlights and stats after this brief timeout.
They say the world's game is played everywhere. This is how we play it here. Every weekend across North America. From Vancouver's mountain rain to the shores of Florida. From the city of angels to the heartland. The world's brightest stars light up our fields.
Let's go.
And our fans bring the world to life. In every language, in every city. One game, one roar. Sold out nights under lights. New soccer citadels rising from coast to coast. Every chant, every goal, another brick in a growing relief. Now, the world's biggest stage comes to our home. And when they arrive, they'll find the game's heartbeat has been here all along.
A lot of upside, a huge ceiling for this young kid.
You're going to like him a lot. His name is Peyton Miller. This is great stuff again. Oh my goodness.
A little bit force away through here. Ball to the back post. It's awkward and it's thrust in towards goal.
From Unionville, Connecticut to stepping on the field in Major League Soccer, Peyton Miller's journey is just getting started.
I'm from Connecticut. I grew up in Unionville. Growing up, I trained a lot with my dad. My dad is mostly the reason for where I am today. When I was like 7, I won a championship for my travel team with my dad as a coach, and I kind of just fell in love with it from there.
As Peyton began to excel as a player, he began receiving attention from multiple clubs.
I started at FSAFC, and then I wanted to excel my game a little bit more, so then I went to Oakwood. And then from there, we played teams like New England Revolution, Philadelphia Union, and then the Revs reached out, and it was my childhood dream to play for the Revs, so it was kind of an easy decision for me to make to come here.
When I arrived at the Revs as a new employee, the staff was telling me about a young man named Peyton Miller. And so right away I went and did as much research as I could, and when I watched him play one time, it was like, wow, this kid is special. Just the way he moved, the way he was working with the ball, the way he looked around naturally. I knew as well as others knew this kid had something inherently in him that we wanted to be around.
Dreams don't come without sacrifice. At just 13, Peyton had to leave his family and friends behind to pursue soccer full-time.
It was hard not being able to be with my parents and not being able to see friends, but it was the sacrifices that I had to make to live this dream. And before that, a year earlier, my parents had to drive 2 hours every single day from Connecticut to Foxborough just so that I can make training, and I'm very grateful for that.
Moving into the Academy's residency program gave Peyton access to top-level training and gave him a platform to continue growing.
And our world structure is everything, because players they're learning so much. There's academics, there's social development, there's physical development, there's goals, there's outside pressures already, there's social media. So what we need to do is we need to provide structure to allow these players to chase their dreams, but chase their dreams with guidelines and helpful. And then when they need a little something extra, we're there for them to help them navigate whatever's in front of them.
By 15, Peyton's hard work paid off. He signed a homegrown contract with the Revolution, and he made his professional debut with Revolution 2 in 2023.
It was against Atlanta. I had a couple good chances, good balls for an assist or a goal maybe. That should have happened, but I was very nervous in the beginning, but as soon as the whistle blew, it kind of just all went away, and all I could feel was just like the adrenaline rush.
Playing against older and stronger players forced Peyton to adapt quickly.
I didn't want the guys like babying me because I was young. I wanted them to tell me how it really was, and they really understood that, and like they weren't afraid to yell at me if I did something wrong, and that's what helped me get to the next level.
His performances that season with Revs 2 opened the door to an opportunity with the first team.
At the end of our season with the second team, they gave me the chance to come train with the first team, and then a little bit previous of that, that's when I signed my homegrown contract. So that was a very big step. You know, the speed of play was crazy when I got to the first team, but I got used to it for a little bit, and then that's when the off season hit, and then that's when I really started to like train, and I came back for the preseason and I was ready for it.
Soon after came the moment he'd been dreaming of since childhood, his MLS debut at just 16 years old, making him the second youngest player in club history to make his debut.
Another interesting debut here. Obviously all the talk about Kevin Sullivan, but Peyton Miller will make his MLS debut, the 16-year-old from Unionville, Connecticut.
My parents made the trip to Philly so they could see me play, and I kind of knew before the game that like this might be the game that I come in, because they told me that week that I'll probably get in that game. But I was nervous stepping to the line, but Caleb just said to me like, have fun, this is what you love to do, just go out there and be a kid. And that's what I did. As soon as I stepped on the field, everything just went away and it was just me on the ball.
For Peyton and his family, it was a moment of pride.
They were all excited. You know, I got a lot of texts from everyone, Instagram stories, all that type of stuff. Everyone just saying that they're proud of me. It was kind of just like a full circle moment, being able to represent the badge and represent my family, my friends, and knowing that all the hard work that I put in, the sacrifices that my parents made, paid off.
4 days later, Peyton would make his full MLS debut against FC Dallas.
Okay, Miller, goal. Bobby Wood! Courtesy of the 16-year-old Miller, the Revs to the lead.
Peyton hasn't just made waves at the club level. He's also become a mainstay in the U.S. Youth National Team setup, earning call-ups from the U15s through the U23s. He featured in all 4 matches at the 2023 FIFA Under-17 World Cup, and later represented the United States at the 2025 FIFA Under-20 World Cup as one of the youngest players on the roster.
As a staff, when Peyton debuted with the 17s and went on, we all have these Slack channels and his pictures coming up from different players snapping the TV going, there's our friend, there's our teammate, there's our guy, and then other coaches. It was really endearing just to be together. It was because we were actually on the road for a game as an academy staff, and that was amazing. And then to see the whole transformation of where he goes and what he's done, we couldn't be more proud.
Peyton hopes his story can be a blueprint for success for the next generation of Revolution players.
It means a lot to me, you know, like to have younger kids look up to me, and some kids will come up to me and ask me like, what'd you do to get where you're at? And I'll kind of just tell them, like, it takes sacrifice and effort, and you just have to be willing to put in the work. But there's a lot of kids that come up to me, and I always tell them, like, don't be afraid to come up and talk to me. Like, I was once where you're at. Like, don't be afraid.
And now for the upcoming schedule. St. Louis City 2 and North Texas SC. That's going to be a fun matchup. Carolina Core and New York Red Bulls in a rematch of the first round of the playoffs last year. And then CT United taking on Huntsville City. That's going to be a great matchup, as well as the Cascadia duel between Timbers 2 and Tacoma Defiance. Now let's take a look at the first half highlights between SKC and Real Monarchs. Again, the first 15 minutes were fast and furious. Lots of shots on goal for both sides. You see Jack Courtcamp making the big save there. And then Dirksen with the handball on the shot from Van Parker led to a penalty. Lineker Rodriguez could not beat the 18-year-old Jack Courtcamp. And that led to this opportunity. Slick move from Ty Haas. His shot was deflected high. Kashawn Hines with the finishing touches and giving him a goal and the lead. A little bit later, Real Monarchs trying to answer. Beautiful ball over the top, and Van Parker could not put it in. And then Courtcamp, just a mistake as he found himself outside the area and then made up for it with this big save from Lineker Rodriguez, again denying him that opportunity. So we're almost ready for the second half. SKC trying to hold on and make it 3 wins on the year. And Real Monarchs trying to come from behind and make it 4 straight unbeaten. And potentially 3 straight wins if they could put 2 past Jack Courtcamp. But he has been wonderful today with those big saves you just saw in the highlights. This is a young squad for Sporting Kansas City. 7 of the 11 are under the age of 18. But who would have thought they could take down a playoff team from last year? Second half is underway between SKC and Real Monarchs. James Hadna here with you. Thank you so much for joining me. Coach Mark Lowry wanted Real Monarchs to come out on the front foot in the first half. It was Kansas City whose pressure put them under some duress early on. Kansas City found a couple of early opportunities. They couldn't find the back of the net. Then it was Real Monarchs who settled in. They had the penalty and could not take advantage. And then Kansas City took advantage of one of their chances. And so can Real Monarchs come out with the energy that Coach Mark Lowry desired in this second half? Ball lofted over the top, and Alfin will let it roll into the area. There's contact, and it will be a free kick for Real Monarchs. Mentioned for Real Monarchs in their unbeaten streak. They've scored 5 goals over the last 2 matches. They had 3 versus Vancouver just in their last match alone. But Coach Mark Lowry said to me this week that he knew it wasn't going to be 5-0 like it was in the first match. Kansas City wasn't going to make the same type of mistakes, and they actually have not done that. Real Monarchs really hasn't been able to play in transition today. That's been a key for this team as they aggressively bring numbers into the attack. Slick ball. Still an opportunity for Kansas City, and now it goes out. So corner is given. .49th minute. Kansas City already in front by a goal. This ball's fired into the area, headed away, and then the shot is wide, well wide for the away side. When it comes to goals for Real Monarchs, they're in the middle of the pack in the Western Conference, just the 19 scored. There was a big uptick in goal scoring from 2024 to 2025 for Real Monarchs. 14 more. But right now, they're under huge pressure. Excellent ball dumped over the top. First shot is saved, and second shot is airmailed over. So Alfin makes a big save inside of 5 minutes. Donovan with the shot. And then his second opportunity, not on frame. It took a deflection on the second shot. And so a corner is given. And another chance for Kansas City to add to their lead. Fifth lead goals in the Western Conference for Kansas City, but you wouldn't know it by the way that they played today, as they've been the better side through 50 minutes of action. Another ball zipped into the area, headed away, fired back in, and hits the crossbar. A searching ball almost found the back of the net.
Yellow card caution, number 61 of the Monarchs, Izahi Amparo.
And now a free kick coming for Real Monarchs. How close was Kansas City there? Van Parker loses possession. And now 4v3 for SKC. Ball's out wide, coming into the area, drawn back. Dirksen! So this is Donovan. Dirksen had the chance and just couldn't put it on frame. But Real Monarchs has to be careful now because Kansas City is sniffing a second goal. And as the ball continues to be lost, Kansas City continues to pick up the pieces. What is the response from Real Monarchs on their home pitch, where they've lost just once in this building all year? There was a 1-0 loss to Houston. For Sporting Kansas City, they just have just the one win away from home this year. And that was 3 weeks ago versus Colorado. So maybe the Rocky Mountains will be kind to Kansas City again. Rodriguez. Cal. Now Ewald. Corner. The first corner for Real Monarchs in this second half. Ball's launched into the area. A lot of bodies inside the 6-yard box, and the traffic ends up being too much as there's a foul. Man still down for Kansas City. Looks like Daniel Russo. He's able to return to his feet. Court camp will send everyone forward. This is also an important moment for this SKC side. You take a lead into the locker room. Can you be professional and see the game out on the road? Only time you know if you can do it, only time you can experience it and learn from the experience it is to achieve. Ball drawn in. It was Ty Haas. Sent in the ball. Courtcamp back the other way. Haas heads it down. Now Donovan flips it over the top. Hines runs into the goalkeeper. And it is Alfin who gets a piece of it. So a corner coming. Donovan with a slick little ball over the top. And Hines just can't get a toe tap to it to really put it around Alfin. So another corner for Kansas City, their third. A little pump fake from SKC as the conversation will be had inside the area. This portion of the match is brought to you by Zions Bank, the official bank of Real Monarchs. '57th minute, ball comes in, pushed away by Alfin, and another corner for Kansas City. SKC has put real pressure on Real Monarchs inside of these first 11 minutes of this second half as they search for that second goal, which would be huge for the away side. Real Monarchs have plenty of firepower, but they put the pressure due SKC on Real Monarchs if they can find a second goal and provide themselves some insurance. Outswinging ball, flicked along. Rodriguez tries to just zip it through. It was a very clever idea, especially if it would found a target.
Substitutions for the Real Monarchs. In the 58th minute of play, leaving the match, number 64, Dylan Croft.
Substitutions being made now for Real Monarchs. Some heavy hitters about to come on. Omar Marquez and Owen Anderson come on for Chance Cowell and Dylan Croft. So former academy members for Real Salt Lake, and Anderson and Marquez, a part of the next generation of talent that Coach Mark Lowry hopes to develop and send to the first team. Now coming in this important moment, their team down by a goal, and see if their quality can shine through, along with the likes of Van Parker, who's had a very good showing the last two games. 2 goals versus Colorado, 1 goal versus Vancouver. There's 3 on the year. Throw in coming for Real Monarchs. They've had no trouble scoring in their last couple of matches along this unbeaten streak. Also had a good showing versus San Jose. Coach Lowry's wants his team to be aggressive, overly aggressive in the attack. And so you know they're going to keep going for it. There is no lay down in this Real Monarch squad. So Marquez digs this out. Kansas City trying to take advantage. And now this is Donovan. Good initial touch, and his shot is over the crossbar. Really well done here. Just could not keep the shot down. So now as this ball is played over the top, Parker trying to work his way around, but it's LaRoe who taps it out of play. Parker, quick throw into the area. That was brought down by the Monarchs. Ball launched in. There's a foul. As Parker continues to be aggressive. And now play will come to a halt. And so this time will be given back as LaRoe ties his shoe. He's back up. 61st minute now. Haas. Now this goes out for a throw. Throw comes towards the box. Hines taps this back out towards Russo. Now Hines still with it, and he runs out of real estate. Kashawn Hines had the goal in the first half for Sporting Kansas City, the difference maker right now. Coach Lee Tashantrit discussing his development. Very hard worker, just wants to win. Now Owen Anderson broke onto the scene back in 2024, ended up being one of the top scorers for the team. Anderson, beautiful ball, little back heel, all in one motion. It was Rodriguez. Would have been spectacular to say the least. Now Haas weaving, working back to Russo. And Courtcamp clobbers this ball. Ewald sees two. Now this will roll out. So Real Monarchs will take time to allow players to get into the area. This is headed away. Ball recycles back to Ewald. Now Calderon towards Masales. A poor ball there, finds Haas, but he can't keep possession. Now on the attack are the Monarchs. Early ball in from Ewald, and LaRoe tracks it well and pumps it high into the air. Monarchs starting to settle into this second half just as they did the first half. Marquez, now this ball flicked in. It will skip all the way across. Rodriguez trying to win it, but he cannot. Take it away from Ty Haas. Big switch. Great idea. 3v3. Kansas City on the prowl. Misael Rodriguez. Floating ball. Doesn't find a target. '65th minute. Big diagonal. Ball comes central. loading up for this long shot into the night sky. So a goal kick now for Kansas City. Substitutions getting ready for Kansas City on the sideline. Won't come just yet. As Courtcamp booms this away. This ball hit into the air. This portion of the match is brought to you by Intermountain Health. The power of we. Smooth little turn here. And now racing forward. Ball into Ewald. Ewald still with it. Rodriguez along. Dropped off. Shot. Blocked away. Kansas City has done well with their box defending in the second half. And really in the first half outside of Carter Dirksen giving up the penalty. And that was just a miscue from him. His arm away from his body. Courtcamp was there to make the save.
Substitutions for Sporting KC. Leaving the match, number 70, Ty Haas, and number 96.
Well, Misael Rodriguez will come off after putting in a good shift, and Tega Ikoba will come on.
And number 75, Zamir Reynaga.
Ty Haas also will come off, and Zamir Loyo Reynaga will come on as well. So some fresh bodies to keep the energy up for SKC. Also for SKC, Ikoba is a big target, so when there's pressure looming, they could find him, and he could hold things up, win duels as well as second balls. Very good change made by Coach Lita Shantrit at this stage of the game. Ikoba also a goal scorer. Was a good goal scorer for Portland a couple of seasons ago. Now Donovan just hits it high into the air. Real Monarchs will control. And immediately look to go. Rodriguez cannot connect with Ewald. Last season, these teams met just once, and it was actually SKC who got one of their 3 wins on the season. The last time that SKC came here to Zions Bank Stadium, it was in 2024, and it was a convincing victory for Real Monarchs, 5-1. Don't think it's going to be that type of party today. Felt it might be with the way that the first half started, with all the chances for both teams, but things have settled down. And Kansas City is going to look to see this match out, as Ewald was offside. You can see Michael Wenzel putting on his jersey, getting ready to come in. Just getting some last words from the technical staff. The former St. Louis City 2-man. And now trying to find Hines. Unsuccessful. Nice little combining play here for Kansas City. Can't find a target inside the 18, however. And now LaRoe goes back to Court Camp, who's played extremely well today at 18 years of age. There's a reason why he's been a U.S. Youth International. O'Gara. Ewald. Good individual defending there by Daniel Russo.
Substitutions for the Real Monarchs.
So Gia Villa will come off.
Leaving the match, number 61, Izahi Amparo, and number 41, Juan Giovia.
Michael Vincel and Jack Otley are coming on.
And number 80, Michael Wenzel.
Alfin just gets this away. Now Kansas City back on the ball. Ball comes in. Doesn't find its target. That's Blaine maybe. Now, maybe. Keeping possession is Kansas City here. Now, Donovan dumps this in. It's Ikoba! Yes, sir! Kansas City finds the second goal they were looking for. And they're on top of Real Monarchs, 2-0. Just a nice little slip ball. Donovan lays this up, and Ikoba, the target we discussed.
Goal, number 37.
And he finds the back of the net. And Kansas City comes to Utah, and they have shown out. Still time for Real Monarchs, but now the task is much tougher as we're in the 74th minute. Batega Ikoba. Talked with Ishvan Urbani last year, the head coach for Sporting Kansas City. He said, we brought in Ikoba because we believe he can really add some value to this team, not only at the second team level, but at the first team level eventually. He's a very big target, great in the air, and once he grows in his technical ability, he's going to be really dangerous. Speaking of dangerous, this is Ewald, draws this in, and an immediate response! Real Monarchs not done yet as they find their first in the 74th minute. Real Monarchs 1, SKC 2. Ewald does so well here as he just drives this back. And guess who? It's Van Parker, his fourth goal of the season, and he just can't stop scoring. Coach Mark Lowry said of Parker, he's going to be good. He's going to be great, rather, because he's starting to figure it out. when you have a young player like Parker, it's going to take him some time to adjust once you get him into this arena, into this space. And after 3 or 4 matches, he has become the goal scorer that this team expected. And it feels like the goals from Kansas City woke up Real Monarchs. The energy level is on 10 right now as we have a quarter of an hour left in this match. This portion of the match is brought to you by America First, the official credit union of Real Salt Lake. America First has game-changing solutions for every financial need, so join the winning team today at americafirst.com. Real Monarchs have a lifeline. They have a heartbeat here after going down by 2 to SKC, and that's what makes that second goal from Sporting Kansas City from Tega Ikoba so important. Kansas City has conceded the most goals in the league, but right now their 2 goals scored enough. But we still have time, and Real Monarchs do not want to drop a match at home to the team that is near the bottom of the Western Conference. This hits the back of Michael Wenzel. And now if you're Real Monarchs, nothing changes. They were always going to be aggressive to score. There's a foul and a free kick coming. This ball slipped along, dumped out by SKC. Marching forward are Real Monarchs. Something building here, and it crumbles for the moment. But just as you could feel Sporting Kansas City's second goal on the horizon, the momentum has shifted. Maybe I spoke too soon as Ikoba picks this up. This could be trouble for Real Monarchs. Maybe. Still with it. Monarchs get numbers behind the ball. Ushered along. Cross coming towards the back post. And it's nodded away and will roll out for a throw-in. One thing that Coach Lowry said, we are going to have numbers into the attack, and we usually leave 3 back. But defenders get paid to defend, and so we're going to leave them out on islands at times. And we saw there that the 3 defenders who were back got the job done. Parker down the line. Ewald has his head up. He'll take it into the area. Good slide tackle. Now dumped in, and it's cleared away. Owen Anderson was there. Ikoba was the target. Goes to ground. He's fouled, and that's what he's in the game for. To be a target, to pick up fouls, and to release pressure in very tense situations. But he has gone down. This is a head injury, so play has to stop immediately. That also means that Ikoba will have to come off the pitch once his health is restored. So we're in the 80th minute now. Things very tense between SKC and Real Monarchs. We mentioned the last time these two teams met, it was all Monarchs from the get-go. Marcos Zambrano had a brace. Owen Anderson scored. Ruben Massalis and Antonio Riquelme all had goals. It was a clean sheet, and it was one of the early wins for Real Monarchs. Coach Mark Lowry said that the lineup had some shifting, players going up, players coming down, and so they had to reconfigure, recalibrate, and feel like they have started to find their footing, unbeaten in their last three. But right now they are getting all they can handle from SKC. Coach Lowry said there are no freebies in this league. Knew that they were going to come out, they being SKC, with a lot of fire. Ikoba being held before he can come back onto the field. So he'll have to wait, as we mentioned, due to the head injury. Now he comes back onto the field. Real Monarchs. Van Parker could not keep possession. Monarchs still with it. Knotted down. Marquez has his shot blocked. Omar Marquez back in. And the bite from the shot taken out. And Court Camp able to corral. This is getting juicy here late night. Ikoba, good initial touch. Donovan around, he's fouled. And that's going to be a yellow card. So Donovan with a nice slick move. The yellow card is shown. Like to Gio Calderon. Donovan taking his time to get back to his feet.
Substitution for
And now
Sporting KC.
Zane Wantlin
Number 34, Daniel
will come onto the pitch
entering the match,
for SKC.
Number 72, Zane Wantlin.
Another member of the Center of Excellence. Started his time with the organization back at the U10 level. Officially at the U12 level.
Yellow card caution.
As Daniel Russo comes out.
Giovanni Calderon.
It was Donovan's header that bounced right to the goalkeeper, Alfin. 83rd minute. Time of the essence. Bad giveaway. Can Kansas City take advantage? Donovan. Ikoba! It rolls over! A brace for the substitute. Both coming in the second half. And Sporting Kansas City has 3 goals and have a 2-goal lead again. Just another wondrous ball from Donovan. Ikoba, a nice little touch, and it's just enough.
Goal for Sporting KC, number 37, Tiga
Just
Ikoba.
enough for Ikoba. And Kansas City restoring the 2-goal lead, and they might just have restored, taking 3 points back to Missouri. So now Real Monarchs down by 2 goals again, but now in the 85th minute. It was an immediate response from Van Parker after the goal from Ikoba initially. That's a shove in the back, and this will take some time off the clock. So another yellow card shown. Time looked like it was for Owen Anderson. As another sub preparing to come on for Real Monarchs here late. Lincoln Ream will come on. So Calderon will come off.
Yellow card caution, Real Monarchs, number 80, Michael Wenzel.
Yeah, it's
Leaving the
Fensel
match,
who
number
picked up the yellow,
55,
not Owen
Giovanni
Anderson.
Calderon. Entering the match, number 88, Lincoln Ream.
We said Ikoba could be an impact sub. He's come on and scored twice. Hines almost gets a piece of that. And time is of the essence for Real Monarchs. They do not want this unbeaten streak to come to a halt at 3 matches. Otley just gets to this near the corner flag, keeps it in himself, puts it in the area, and it just whizzed right across the face of goal. Nobody was there to tap it in. I mean, it was on the doorstep. Nobody could tap it home. Excellent individual effort from Otley. So confirming it was Vincent who picked up the yellow card. Sporting Kansas City now trying to close this out. Ikoba just puts this into the middle, and Real Monarchs able to pick it up. Play it direct over the top. Otley again the target. Now with this cross, it's blocked behind. Corner coming for Real Monarchs. Have to move quickly, do the Monarchs now. Whistle blown. Would have been a good ball, honestly. As Ruben Massalas was the target. Mentioned he scored versus Real Monarchs in their last meeting. Ball is lifted in. Courtcamp with the punch. He is down. Whistle's blown. And now Courtcamp needs an extra moment as we've made it to the 89th minute. So Courtcamp will take his time as Sporting Kansas City can sense it. Ikoba still with it, and his shot wide of the mark as he's on a hat trick. Ball's boomed forward. Racing forward is Otley. He'll track it down. Jack Otley can't work around Zane Wantlin just yet. Now Otley puts it in. It's headed away. '90th minute. 2-goal lead for Kansas City. Real Monarchs need something, and they need it in the worst way now. So it's Felix Ewald trying to get a better angle, but he has to throw from where the ball originally went out. Launches this ball in, flicked along, and it's hit cleanly, and Courtcamp makes another glorious save. It was Lincoln Ream who struck it very well from distance, and Jack Courtcamp has been on his P's and Q's today. Now the ball inside the area.
Has indicated that 6 minutes will be added to the match.
And now it is Shane Donovan. Can't get to this before it rolls out. So the fourth official announcing a minimum of 6 minutes of added time. That's what stands between Kansas City and their third win of the year, which would match their win total from a season ago. No foul there. The shove from behind. Marquez. They say handball on Omar Marquez. And so as time will tick, LaRoe won't take it. It is Courtcamp who will come up to take it. Boots it long. Ikoba's the target. Renaga doesn't find anyone. And now whistle. It must have pulled back for offside on Ikoba. A nice little slice from Otley. He's about to lose possession. There's a foul. Yellow card for him, as he lost the ball and did not want to allow for a counterattack, which surely would have shut the door. We're nearing 3 minutes of our minimum of 6 of added time.
Monarchs yellow card, number 79, Jack Otley.
Wantland towards Hines, heads it down, maybe loading up, decides not to take a shot. Hines drops this off, no shot. Ream can't work around, and Hines will win it back for Sporting Kansas City. Maybe slithering in possession. Omar Marquez trying to win the ball. Kashawn Hines is there for coverage. Marquez does win the ball, finds Anderson. O'Gara back towards Anderson. He'll keep it in play. 94th minute, about to be the 95th. Last call for Real Monarchs. And they lose possession. Vincel steps in. He's fouled. Masales. Now Anderson. The ball still free and now cleared away. Vincel back towards the box. whistle, possession with Kansas City. And they are moments away now. Two-goal lead as we enter into our final minute of our minimum of 6 of added time. The team that won just 3 matches last season. It took them very long to find their first win. And they stayed the course. We mentioned at the beginning of this match, if they could put a couple of performances together despite their start, they could start to nip at the heels of some of the teams at the bottom of the playoff race here as we are nearing halfway through the year. This will be their 15th match. And so they are halfway through themselves. So they have to start picking up points. This is Otley. This ball pops loose, and Ikoba has it. So Tega Ikoba galloping in possession. Behind towards Donovan. Donovan continues to hold. Now as it slipped forward, Donovan goes to the corner flag. 6 minutes minimum has been played. All that's left is the final whistle. Ball has to come back into play. And once that happens, it'll be all she wrote.
Substitutions for Sporting KC. Leaving the match, number 97, Carter Dirksen, and number 77, Keyshawn Hines. Entering the
Both
match,
Keyshawn
number
Hines
49,
and Carter
Jordan
Dirksen will come out.
And number 66, Edson Brooks.
Edson Brooks, one of the 2 players that has come on. Ball comes in. Maybe with a touch. And there's the final whistle. Sporting Kansas City scores 3 goals against Real Monarchs, and they take 3 points back to Kansas City. The final, Real Monarchs 1, Sporting Kansas City 3. Thanks to Tega Ikoba, 2 goals off the bench. Sean Hines scores the first goal in the first half. SKC takes a goal lead into halftime. Tega Ikoba comes on, and all he does is find 2. And that is why Tega Ikoba is your Adidas Man of the Match. For Ikoba, coming off the bench, coming to this team last year, and experiencing what he did, coming into this match, just had to make an impact. We talked about his ability in the air as a target, and he did exactly what was expected of him, not only scoring, but being that target. And again, this little tap gave him his second goal as it rolled in past Alford. Your man of the match, presented by Adidas, Tega Ikoba. Well, thank you so much for the opportunity to bring you this contest. Real Monarchs and Sporting Kansas City, the final. Sporting Kansas City, 3-1 over Real Monarchs. You can watch MLS Next Pro all season long at onefootball.com and mlsnextpro.com with my fantastic crew. My name is James Hadnot saying so long from Utah. Have a blessed evening.
This copyrighted broadcast of Major League Soccer may not be retransmitted, reproduced, or rebroadcast without the express written consent of Major League Soccer.